to waste their, you know, electricity. Trying. We'll see if he builds at the low ground or on the high ground.
Our drones are under attack. Our forces are under attack.
Uh-huh. Got him. My build right there. In there. Someone streaming, and then when I wake up, I just think, what the hell? Sometimes you're at another streamer, you're like, they raid, and you're like, well, who the hell is this? And it was the other person that raided somebody else. Like, what am I listening to? Surprise. Surprise, mother dicker. Yeah, I had that problem too. I'm like, wait, what? Who's this? How did I get here? Yeah. Okay, so I'll show you this build. Very simple build. Especially if they know that you're Zerg. If they think that you're random, and they might be able to build at the low ground, but you want them to build at the low ground. So what you do is you build your drones. You could even go for an overlord and then go for a gas and then go drones. But what you want to do is you want to grab 2 drones, and you want to grab the 2 drones and you right click on the mineral, and then you right click on the gas before the gas finishes. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna click real quick and we're gonna click down here, and that's gonna place us together. And the way you do this is you grab the drones and you right click on a mineral patch. You have to click it on the mineral patch or else they separate. And so by knowing that they separate if you click outside the mineral patch, we're gonna do a little trick later on to make sure that we get our hidden drone. So now we have 2 drones here. We got a gas, and that gas is gonna be for the roaches, and we're gonna move out. We're gonna get our pool, and we're gonna start getting our drones, and we're gonna start getting our gas for the roaches. Getting a few drones. We're gonna get supply blocked in a little bit, but that's okay because we're gonna need the rest of the money anyways for the hatchery. And so now we're right here. And when I see that there's a pylon here and a gateway, I go, okay, this is working good. They're building at the low ground like I want them to. There's no high ground vision. The only thing is this probe right here. This probe is gonna follow this drone. So I don't want to hide and leave because he'll scout it. If I go up the ramp, he's going to follow me up there, and then I'm not going to be able to hide the drone. So what I'll do is I'll mineral click back over here or over here, right? I'm like, okay, I got to move around. And the way I do that without losing those drones from separating is by mineral clicking. So as I'm mineral clicking, it looks like one drone's running around doing scouting. So now he's getting ready to get a nexus. So now I'm gonna go back inside and see if he follows me. Now this time he hasn't followed me because he's gonna go scout what's going on. He wants to go over to this side of the map and see what it is. So when you do that, there is no vision over here other than this area. So this is where we go up and we do the sleight of hand and we send this drone out. And then I make a hatchery here and I use this drone to start nibbling. Because if he just saw a drone go up the ramp, it's gonna look exactly the same timing when he comes in. So he's gonna be like, okay, well there goes the drone right there, and I saw him just leave inside the base if they ever did. And now I'm like just nibble, like, hey, I'm right here. I'm right here. Don't worry about it. I'm the drone. I'm the one that you saw me earlier. There's definitely not a second drone over here. And so he's over there nibbling. So now he knows that my drone is active. And so now I gotta go down here because I don't want him to scout around. If I have him in the shadows, he's gonna look over here to see if I make a hatchery. But if I go down right away and start, you know, being visible far away from my hatchery, notice how my drone is far away from it, they'll have a less likelihood of thinking something's up and scout it. So I just pretty much get it in a visible area. And then what I do is I nibble again. I nibble the nexus, anything, a pylon, gateway. I'll nibble it so that it says your base is under attack. Your base is under attack. You know, and then they look back and you're like, oh, that little nibbler, you know, and starts nibbling my drones. So let's go. He's a pesky one. So he goes up the ramp. He's like, I gotta go see what he's doing. And he's like, oh. He goes in, pool. Oh, okay, roaches. Okay, he's gonna come in with a roach rush. So we don't want this drone to look suspicious, right? Because if you don't have him in visual sight, he's gonna look around everywhere. He'll look over here. He'll look over here. If you don't have this vision, because he's gonna wonder where did it go. Even if you sent him home, he's gonna look back and go, I didn't see him go home, so let me check my base. Let me check around my base. So you have to let him see the drone, and it has to be far away from your hatchery. And so now that he sees it's a roach rush, he's gonna look at the drone as a threat. Maybe he's gonna make a hatchery in my base or outside the base. So keep an eye on that drone. So now he's gonna. Now I expect him to chase me, so I'm doing a loop. And I should have done it over here instead of up here, but I thought his probe was gonna chase me, and I didn't want to like keep microing it, so I left it over here. But maybe I could have put it a little more visible here. But I underestimated the fact that he wasn't gonna chase it down for being threat. Instead, he's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna wall this off." So I had to go back down because he wasn't going anywhere. So I gotta go show my drone again. Like, hey, my drone's still here. Nibble, nibble, right? I'm still nibbling, so hey, get my attention. It's just me. Same drone. And then your hatchery's being up. And so now it would be too late to even do anything with this hatchery. Now what I was going to do here is I was going to actually make a hatchery right here. But the probe was there, and I didn't see the probe inside this area blocking, and I didn't mineral trick because I didn't think the probe was there. It's hard to see with all that glitter, that chrono boost magic. But I was gonna make a hatchery here so that he thinks that he has to double down at the low ground, not at the high ground. And but I lost a drone, which is okay though, because if the Zerg, if the Protoss thinks, oh, I killed the drone, the only threat I have now is at my front base if he comes at me with the roaches. You know, so it's a little false sense of security. So he's getting a sentry. He's going to probably get a battery shield. There goes his battery shield. He'll just keep making more work, more units. And then I have a hatchery up already now. And I'll be making roaches in a sec. And a queen. So, and he's sending a probe right here. He has a probe right here just to see if anything comes by. And if there's no roaches that come by, he feels safe for the meantime. If he sees roaches right now, he's going to be like, okay, I need to make more batteries or something. I don't have enough units. So that's a possibility. But because he's thinking about this over here, you know, he's not really thinking there's a hatchery. Why would there be? There's only one drone that came in, right? So he thinks. And so, yeah, this is getting defended. It's getting gateways. You know, make sure this place doesn't get denied. And little by little, I'm getting my roaches. Now, he sends another probe, so it kind of feel like he's like, well, I don't want to leave my eyes off this. And let me check if he's got a third. So he's probably going to check here and here to see if, is there a base somewhere else? And that I didn't know that. Now he's kind of like wondering, like, is it another base? But yeah, it's already too late. Now the creep tumors are just to make sure I can walk around with roaches a little quicker, so that I can micro them better versus these units. But yeah, he didn't even see it coming. How soon can he see the creep? Not that soon. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's look at his vision. And let's slow it down a little bit. So, a lot of it has to do your minimap. So, a lot of it has to be your minimap that you have to see the creep. You usually don't see the creep right there with your visuals because you don't check there often. But right there, you see it a little bit. It takes a little bit of time. You don't expect it, so you don't always quickly see it. But now if you look at your mini map, there's a little bit of purple, but you know, have you noticed it yet? You know, it's not green, so it's not easily distinguishable, but it does get to a point like right now. But right now he's focused on the overlord, so he's paying attention to the Overlord instead of his instead of that there's a creep in his base. He's paying attention to his worker production. He's paying attention to his stalkers, his gateway production. He's checking my base. So his focus is way outside of there's a base in my base until it's already enough roaches to at least do damage. So you don't always catch that there's a creep until it's too late. And he was going for a battery shield focus point where it's like, okay, I get my gateways, a little bit later I get my expansion, and then my battery will hold off the front. Which it could still go into a late game just by him sending the workers right over to the natural and trying to hold the natural. He could do that, and I would have to be on the high ground, shooting from the high ground. So there definitely is a nice good back and forth. Since I'm on one base and he would be on one base, but I would have a high ground advantage to be able to like nibble down his workers from mining too long. So there's a back and forth. GG. He GG'd.